Alright guys, welcome back. So let's have a look at IREN. So this stock year to date, probably like 600% or so from 10 bucks. It has gone up all the way to 80 bucks or so a couple days ago. They reported earnings yesterday and the stock pretty much today is down 6-7%. So flushed down all the way to 58 from around like, it was trading around like 80 bucks pre-market yesterday. And today, well, it did flush down after reporting earnings. So here's what I'm watching. So if I zoom out to daily chart, which I like to watch daily chart, so two scenarios. Either it looks like it has already put a double top, and if it just the longer it spends here and pretty much cracks the 50-day moving average, I think it can go lower. But if it has more gas in the tank and if it wants to grind its way back up, I think it can do something like Oklo. So I'm gonna be super short with this video. So I think Oklo has done similar move, but it's not like one-to-one, but pretty much it did have this exhaustion move, came down, went right back up, and then right there, where's the line? It had a couple days of a digestion and then squeezed to new highs, and then after option expiration it just rolled over. Okay, so IREN could do similar price action. So spend a couple days, drop in. If it stays between the 60-70 range, it has a high probability of pretty much breaking out and maybe even going testing the 100 bucks level. This is an $18 billion company right now, this mid cap. I know it's year to date is already pretty crazy high. So it's essentially data center business. They looks like also mine Bitcoin. You can go through their financials yourself. I'm not gonna argue with anybody about their revenue and all that stuff, valuation, because yeah, with such revenue, these companies should not belong to these valuations. But again, momentum is there. This is what I care about in the short term. Long term, yeah, these are gonna find the mean. But so far, revenue is growing. Yeah, stock has been going pretty crazy too. So you can see this is quarterly that I'm looking at, and annually. I mean, look at the revenue. So this 2025, 500 million. I don't know Q4 what they're going to report, but Q3 they beat it again. Growth, I mean, you can see this is what market is caring about so far. In the beginning of the year, the stock was 10 bucks, and even April, May lows, the stock was $5 stock. So you have to keep that in mind, okay? So anytime this kind of stock goes 10, 20 fold, even the backdrop will be pretty big as well, because this is the definition of volatility. Okay, so we're gonna look at two more things. Option activity, which is pretty highly driven. All these stocks pretty much come with aggressive call buying, and at the same time shorts getting squeezed left and right. So the stock has pretty decent short float, I believe. So I just want to check daily. Yeah, it's not too bad actually. It's not too high actually. So I want to see what's going on with total float over the stock and the short float. So it's 18% of the float, and again, it's according to Finviz. On a daily, this is where I check on Chart Exchange, and then come take a look at the daily volume. And anytime I see like high percentages from the daily traded volume, then that's a recipe when stock's sitting at its highs for the momentum to keep going and the stock to squeeze higher. So if it just had a top, it will have a hard time breaking this level. So I was watching prior, again on a daily I don't watch like these weeks, this is but ideally I would watch like 72 to 75. So if it has a hard time breaking 72, 75, I want to say, yeah, I think it will have downside pressure, okay? Especially if it cracks the 50-day. So far, stock is holding at 20-day. 5-day right there. Ideally get back above 5-day, but 50-day is very important for the momentum. So even if it comes, tests this 50 and then tries to bounce, sure, I will be still bullish. Momentum is still to the upside. So in terms of options, let me quickly take a look at the options, and then we'll take a look at the dark pool and all that stuff. So going into the big option exploration, which is, the monthly, the November 21st, 73,000 in the money calls, 6,000 outside of the money, puts in the money 30,000, outside of the money 129,000. So on Friday alone, what was the volume? This is what I'm curious about. So there's a lot of volume. Okay, so this is trading with crazy volume, which means implied volatility is high. Stocks options are not cheap, okay, because it's implying a lot of move. So for November 21st, it's pricing plus or minus almost like $13 up or down. So if you're trading this name, you gotta be super careful with IV, okay? IV is high. So I think a lot of people just doing a lot of spreads we can just dive into. There were more calls on Friday after reporting earnings, but I'm sure there are a bunch of spreads as well. So November 14th, 46 put. I think this was sold. 52 put for November. This is a spread. And then I'm seeing $40 put actually was purchased. This was purchased at the asking price. This was like 10-15 minutes before market close. 7,000 contracts. This is pretty big. So yeah, I would keep an eye on actually. So the option activity doesn't look super crazily like bearish or bullish to me. But yeah, there are some crazy call buyers as well, like 95, 70 call, 85 call, $100 call for next week. But they were cheap, okay? They're like monetary value. We can take a look at it here actually on volume leaders, unusual whales, and then I'll show you guys the dark pool, what's going on with those large orders, because there was number one that came in. So you can see call buying, call buying, call buying, call buying, and even put buying as well at the same time. But Friday, today, pretty much puts were getting sold. So, but again, net premiums are not crazy, but yeah, I think it's hard to tell if this tape is bullish or bearish, because I see that both calls are getting bought and puts are getting bought right there. And then only on Friday, puts were sold more than calls were bought. So Friday, it was bullish. Maybe people bought the dip. I don't know. We will see. Another thing I want to show you guys is all these large orders. So number one came in on Friday actually. So I don't know if this is a dip buy or if it's a distribution. But whenever I see this kind of a picture, this is a topping stage in my opinion. But again, it can overshoot easily. I will show you guys how Okla looked like before taking a dive. You can see what happened. People were pretty much distributing right there, but it did overshoot. It did go higher, and then it resolved lower. So essentially from 192, it is down like 40%, but it was doing similar price action. Similar large orders were coming in, just like IREN has in the past couple weeks, I want to say. So I will not be surprised if it does overshoot, meaning it just gets back above this 75, goes to 90, 100, and then it rolls over, comes back down to 50, let's say. If it does that, I will not be surprised. But so far, I'm a breakout trader, so I will be only interested if the price gets back above this level. Until then, it's just on my watch list. I don't have a position, I'm not trading it, and I'm not telling you to buy or sell the stock. This is purely for educational and entertainment purposes only. Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe. If you did, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace.